Let's see if we can weave a little story together about autism, comedians, artistry, autonomy, automation, auxiliary inputs, and any other A words I can think of, maybe assholes, articulate people, anal retentive people, people that have attitudes. Where I started this was thinking a lot about the way the mind functions and society works, and who comedians are, and what they deal with on a regular basis, and what people it's called stand-up comedy. This is stand up and say whatever you have to say, and when you do that, you are immediately in a position where everybody will find, no matter what, offense. Something that you'll say, that you'll do, that you'll be. And the comedic mind, the comedian, is always, we accept the criticism of everyone else's mental inadequacies to be creative in looking at different types of events and possibilities and what the future might be. It's like they always say, the comedian can become a great actor, but a great actor can never know comedy. It has something to do with timing, it has something to do with knowledge, it has something to do with compassion and empathy, it has something to do with exploration, it has to do with a lot of different things. But as a comedian does their shtick, their routine. Some have like a shtick or a routine, and it's obvious, but oftentimes it's really great, it's really good. And other comedians, they're just funny. They're just literally funny people. They're not waiting for time on stage. They're not waiting for anything, because what they realize is the whole universe is one giant chaotic event, and they organize it. They're masters of it. They're craftsmen. And make no mistake about it, that every philosopher, every guru you think you might know, go hit a button on your little YouTubes and go see Sadhguru. Go see Alan Watts, one of the greatest. Go see Krishnamurti, either one of them. Go see any of these people. And if you don't realize that they're autistic and comedic and artistic, and like, if you don't get it, what they're doing and what they're expressing is whatever they are in the moment. Sometimes they're better at taking all of the disparaging and differently dispersed and estranged objects and people and arrangements of the universe, and they're organizing them in some pattern of thought, something that no one else can do. Like, how did you come to that equation, or how did you take that answer and then find it's like in mathematics, if somebody says, here's the answer in algebra, and here's all of these missing parts, we'll call it X, we'll call it B, we'll call it, and we're gonna multiply this, and there's a formula. And the greatest comedians, you give them the answer, and they'll create a formula and also add in and pepper in all of the ideas, because they're genius, because they don't have strict regulators upon what they can and can't think. Their thought police. Don't trust me that there's always the thought police are literally the people that are offended. That's what it is. And so when somebody becomes offended with what you think or what you have to say or how you are, it's always that. If you walk into a room of 100 people, by the third sentence that comes out of your mouth, if you're capable of speaking and 100 people can hear everything you're saying, there's a chance. There's a 100% chance you're going to offend someone. You're going to find many people to offend. You're not even a comedian. You're not even funny. you're not even aware of it. You're not even thinking about it. You're not even attempting it, whatever it is, yet. If you thought like the comedians do, they accept the fact that everyone's going to be offended. Some people will be on your side. Some people will be neutral. Some people no care, no worries, right? But that's the crux of the entire thing between the philosopher, and so getting it back into the words that I started with, all the A words, finding anal retentive people that are always aggressive towards the apathetic person's attitude, and it's a curious minefield of these types of strange qualities that other people, and I'm one of the others too. Imagine that, because I'll find myself not necessarily. That's the thing, is I think comedians just don't get offended by people's words or their ideas or like language and things. They just find the words and language to be something akin to banana pudding or some sort of just milky substance that it just feels okay to talk. Look at it, just like, I'm going to play with my food in my mouth because it feels good. Why wouldn't I do that? Why did I put the food in my mouth anyways? The comedian says. The realist, the person there that they know the universe, and they're a scientist, and they're going to tell you, you put that food in your mouth and you chew it and you swallow it because it's going to give you energy and nutrition. And the comedian says, well, maybe on the way there to getting that nutrition or that energy from the food, I could enjoy the experience. Scientist says, no. The philosopher comes along and says, well, I hear what you're saying, scientist, but you're kind of wrong about that, because nutrition isn't what you think it is. You live in the material world. We don't live there. And the comedian just smiles and says, yeah, exactly. Like he cleaned up what I meant to say. He took the joke and turned it into something that you could just look at and chew on and go, oh shit, yeah, okay, we're thinking too much here. And the comedian takes that philosophy and turns that philosophy into something that gets people out of their minds and back into like, okay, this is just play. We're just playing with words here. And the scientist is sitting there offended, like, what do you mean nutrition is? What do you mean that it's not like I've read the studies. I've seen it in black and white. Yeah, but have you ever felt energy? Have you ever felt anything? Your signs and symbols and numbing numbers and the nincompoops and the short-sightedness and the coffee and the cigarettes and the balding and the, oh man, everything is going, it's all gearing up to get to the end. That's what, scientists are trying to improve the world. They're trying to improve a world that they're convinced is going to end. Imagine the absurdity of that. The world ends, so they want to fix it. How do you fix something that you already have maintained dies? Where the comedian goes, I don't necessarily think it works that way, and the philosopher goes, no, we're all immortal, and spirit is just as such, and everything comes out of the larger overmind, and here's how it works. And then the comedian's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for, taking us out of laughter. But back to the show, and the scientist is sitting there going, well, I mean, what are you talking, dude? This is material, is real. Okay, man, I think you've done too many things. You got too many substances in you. You see, it was the substances that did it. It wasn't the real world is here. It's solid. It's material. It matters. Everything matters. It's matter. Oh, everything's so mad. And the philosopher giggles and says, you don't quite get it yet, do you? You think it's like that. I think, therefore I am. Oh, well, what is doing the thinking? There's something exploded and all of a sudden you have consciousness. And they go through this whole gambit of illusory games of what the mind is. You ever get those thoughts that you're having, and you're driving maybe, or you're staring off into the distance, you're like, oh, where am I? So where were you? Could you recognize the room? Could you recognize the window of the car? Wherever you're going or whatever you're doing, you just was somewhere else. So where did you exist? Did you exist in that place? Or were you inside of your mind? And then we come back to the comedian that turned all that philosophy into some sort of, I mean, is it that serious? You know, it's like this. Somebody makes a joke about murder, the murdering of entire nations. Well, it happened a long time ago, so we can make jokes about that. But something happens recently. Somebody makes a joke about, say, drinking and driving, and somebody goes to the show, how dare you? I had a family member die from someone that was drinking and driving. Like, what? You were okay with the Holocaust joke because that didn't happen directly to you. And I'm not saying that I believe in the Holocaust. Don't tell anybody that, though. But that happened so far away and it's so distant from you that joke is okay. But not drinking and driving, something that everybody has pretty much done. I think everyone on this planet has done that. Let's just be, I mean, not the, maybe not the 5-year-old suburban kid, but, anybody else that has gotten in a car that has ever had a drink, which is most of the population. And let me go a little further with this to where I think maybe I want to start this to give you a little bit of conceptual reality about why it is that when we look at these statistics on, say, alcohol consumption and the evils of alcohol, and how, like, we look at pharmaceuticals. Let me try this little game this way. We look at doctors that are so focused on some sort of outcome that they're actually doing more harm than good. They're not paying attention. It's as if they walked in the kitchen when somebody else was cooking a stew and started making their own stew in the stew that was already cooking, wondering why it's not coming out right. So if we look at all the pharmaceutical, iotropic deaths and everything that is like medical related that has killed people. Now, all of these people were hyper-focused on helping. Or were they hyper-focused on becoming rich? Or were they focused on whatever it might be? Their need to be so focused created what we'd call a pharmaceutical pill. And those pharmaceutical pills have then, because of their attentiveness to wanting to fix the problem of life, have actually caused more problems in life. More people die from Advil every year, and put this across the entire plane here, wherever we live, all the time and distance. But then if we look at it culturally, we say, well, actually, pretty much, I don't know, I would say 60 to 70% of people on this planet are, I mean, I'm not going to say drunks, but I'm going to say they drink. Cultures are steeped in that. Think about it. There's a guy out there, he finds a fruit that went bad, and he drank it. He drank some of the liquid. He's like, oh, this is interesting. And all of a sudden, they put it in a jar, and they started collecting fruit, letting it go bad, and letting nature see these raw, like, hair down to their ass, just tribal, they got bones through their nose, whatever you want. Yet they're doing the shamanic activity, working with the land. All of a sudden, they create this thing, and then they're having this good old time. And everything's groovy. They were too drunk to design and drive a car. You see, these shamanic cultures, they were, So if we get rid of all the drinking and driving, now if I go full circle with this for you guys, we go to the drinking and driving deaths, we eliminate those because who wants to operate a motherfucking automobile? I mean, really, where are you going? What are you gonna do? So we get rid of that from the part of the problem with drunk people. Right, but the curious part about that is find drunks. They're easy to control because they're like little babies. They're just flopping around all over the place. So I find a lot of commonality in the hilarity of that, and there's really not a lot of dilemma in that because everybody's found. You can see the drunk girl that's bum running down the street, or this guy, like, just whatever. Like, you see all these random access memories to, like, just crazy events and things, and it's always alcohol-induced fun. But yet, when someone's trying to fix a problem, see, when people go out and drink, they're just enjoying. Yeah, they might be like trying to like escape reality of the diseased culture we live in, whatever you want to call it. But when we look at all these little pills and substances that were created in laboratories by people trying to fix a problem, all they've done is caused people to have more problems. They wanted to fix the food, and all of a sudden there's genetically modified bullshit in the foods that by no means should be in humans or in anything else for that matter. And I always just take it back and say, go out into the wild jungle, go into the nature of things. The nature of things is alcohol is a derivative, is a process of nature. Alcohol is. You know it is not? A little white pill in a laboratory? That's not. It just isn't. It doesn't. They don't crop up. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't. There's nothing happening there. Yet we find this curious division where people say, no, we're going to fix the world, even though they think the world is dead and materialistic. And then you find people that are more lucid and conscious and aware of things. Call them artistic, autistic. You can call them drunks. You can call them comedians. You can call them whatever. But that's always it. That's always been the game of people that are experiencing and participating in their life 100% full-time right now. Here's how we do it. Good, bad, and different. Who knows? This is what I got, and this is what I'm working with. I can't perfect my mind. I can't perfect anything. Why attempt? What is the attempt to perfect something if you already believe everything is perfectly balanced the way it is? What do we need to fix? I mean, we could fix things by taking our hands off of the shit. We could fix things by stopping producing the things that are causing the problems. And the things that seem to be causing the problems are the things that we thought we would do to fix problems that we had in the begin with. Yet we didn't have a problem to begin with until we decided, let's make a train, let's make an automobile, let's make all of these things. Oh, it interconnected us. It also did a lot worse. I mean, I'm not trying to play I'm not playing the devil's advocate game, but I'm also saying, like, okay, right now we're in a position, okay, I think we could figure out how to have automobiles not pollute the environment and not have all of this, we're not going to have to mine for all this garbage and we could, I think we're at the point where, this society of realizing that technology is the intelligent use of tools that we create by interacting with the land. Because all the tools have to come from the land. Where did you get them from? Well, you had to get some of the stuff over here. What did we get? Well, first we got this rock or this stone, and then we got this. Then we started working with these gases, and we started putting these gases and these rocks and these stones together, and we started creating these plastics and all these other things. There's a way to do this, to create things that are beneficial to our environment without leeching off of the human experience. And the human is seemingly a color of magnificence, of here it is, that's what's going on. And it seems to be fueled by spirit. You can call that breathing. You can call it alcohol. You can call it DMT, dimethyltryptamine. You can call it a lot of different things. Spirit is something different for everyone else. But spirit is never found in trying to find a solution. Spirit is dancing. There's no solution to dancing. So, have a beautiful time wherever you are in the whole space continuum. We'll talk soon, y'all.